Article 1365. If two parties agree upon the mortgage or pledge of real or personal property, but the instrument states that the property is sold absolutely or with a right of repurchase, reformation of the instrument is proper.
Mortgage or pledge stated as a sale. Under this article, the reformation of the instrument is proper. Otherwise, the true intention of the parties would be frustrated. Such true intention must prevail, for the contract must be complied with in good faith.
Article 1366. There shall be no reformation in the following cases. Number 1. Simple donations inter vivos wherein no condition is imposed. Number 2. Wills. Number 3. When the real agreement is void. Article 1367. When one of the parties has brought an action to enforce the instrument, he cannot subsequently ask for its reformation.
Cases when reformation not allowed. Number 1. Simple donations inter vivos where no condition is imposed. In donation, the act is essentially gratuitous and the done has, therefore, no just cause for complaint.
Number 2. Wills. A will is an act whereby a person is permitted, with the formalities prescribed by law, to control, to a certain degree, the disposition of his estate, to take effect after his death. Like donation, the making of a will is a strictly personal and a free act.
Number 3. When the real agreement is void. If the real agreement is void, there is nothing to reform.
Number 4. When one party has brought an action to enforce the instrument. When a party brings an action to enforce the contract, he admits its validity and that it expresses the true intention of the parties. The bringing of the action is thus inconsistent with reformation.
Article 1368. Reformation may be ordered at the instance of either party or his successors in interest, if the mistake was mutual. Otherwise, upon petition of the injured party or his heirs and assigns.
Party entitled to reformation.
The burden of proof is upon the party who insists that the contract should be reformed because of its failure to express the true intention of the parties. The presumption is that an instrument sets out the true agreement of the parties. The effect of reformation is retroactive from the time of the execution of the original contract.
Article 1369. The procedure for the reformation of instruments shall be governed by rules of court, to be promulgated by the Supreme Court. Procedure for reformation. The rules of court governs procedure. However, the Supreme Court has not as yet promulgated the procedure for the reformation of instruments.
Chapter 5. Interpretation of Contracts. Article 1370. If the terms of a contract are clear and leave no doubt upon the intention of the contracting parties, the literal meaning of its stipulations shall control. If the words appear to be contrary to the evident intention of the parties, the latter shall prevail over the former.
A contract was executed between Garcia and Mago. The contract recites that it is a sale of parcel of land belonging to Garcia for 100,000 pesos. In the contract, Garcia is described as the vendor and Mago the vendee. The terms of the contract are clear and it does not appear from the circumstances that the intention of the parties is contrary to the literal meaning of said terms.
Article 1371. In order to judge the intention of the contracting parties, their contemporaneous and subsequent acts shall be principally considered.
Contemporaneous and subsequent acts relevant in the determination of intention. Where the parties to a contract have placed an interpretation to the terms thereof by their contemporaneous and or subsequent contact, as by acts in partial performance, such interpretation may be considered by the court in determining its meaning and ascertaining the intention of the parties, when such intention cannot clearly be ascertained from the words used in their contract. Sabado and Mago entered into a contract entitled Contract of Lease. Although the contract refers to Sabado as lessor and to Mago as lessee, it states that the possession and ownership of the land are transferred to Mago. The title to the land was given by Sabado to Mago, who registered the land in her name. Before the date of the contract, Mago wrote a letter to Sabado offering to buy the land. By their acts, the parties clearly indicate that their evident intention is to make Mago the owner of the land. Hence, the contract should be interpreted as one of sale.
Article 1372. However general the terms of a contract may be, they shall not be understood to comprehend things that are distinct and cases that are different from those upon which the parties intended to agree.
Special intent prevails over general intent. As a rule, where in a contract there are general and special provisions covering the same subject matter, the latter control over the former when the two cannot stand together. Mago sold her apartment, including all the furniture therein. The term all should not be understood to include Mago's fire extinguisher, which is distinct and different from furniture.
Article 1373. If some stipulation of any contract should admit of several meanings, it shall be understood as bearing that import which is most adequate to render it effectual.
Mago sold her parcel of land to Garcia. Now, Mago has two lands, one owned by her absolutely and another land of which she is a co-owner with Sabado. Sabado did not give her consent to the sale. The sale should refer to the land owned by her alone, as this would make the contract effectual.
Article 1374. The various stipulations of a contract shall be interpreted together, attributing to the doubtful ones that sense which may result from all of them taken jointly.
Mago leased her house to Garcia. In the contract, it was stated that Garcia should not sublease the house without the written consent of Mago. Another stipulation therein contained stated that Garcia should pay 1,000 pesos as additional rent a month should she violate this condition. Garcia subleased the house to Sabado without the consent of Mago. Has Mago the right to eject Garcia? No, in the light of the clause stating the penalty for the violation of the condition.
Oh no! It's already time. I'm gonna be late. Dear, wake up! It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Let's have some breakfast.